Hi, and welcome back to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose. This here is Douglas Maidenford, our resident Pennsylvania Dutchman. How are you, Douglas?
I am one-up-war, and it's good to be back.
Yeah?
Hey, man, I gotta say this. One of the last videos we did and posted was on pot pie. Remember that?
Oh my God, we got some hate mail.
We get the hate mail on that. I didn't realize it was such a divided subject. But some of the stuff, we didn't get death threats, but we were told in no uncertain terms that
don't mess with a man's pot pie.
We were wrong that pot pie is in a pie, and then there were an equal amount of defenders going the other way. It was crazy, but that's over and done. We're moving on. We're not here to make friends. We're just here to tell it the way that it is. If we make friends along the way, so be it.
Oh.
If we make enemies, then we make enemies. But anyway, we're glad you're back. Do we have a question?
Yeah, we got a question.
Go ahead.
All right. Now, I'm afraid to even answer questions anymore.
We go forward.
Oh, forward we go. All right. Well, this question comes in from Bob of Berks County.
Hey!
Bob wants to know, what the heck is a corn husking party?
Oh, well, I don't think they exist anymore. Have you ever been to a corn husking party?
I don't think so. Not since... Not since the big one.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Probably not, because if Bob doesn't know, then you probably don't either. But years ago, when corn would come in, like sweet corn or even field corn, back before modern technology, you would have people come together.
This was back in the 90s.
No, but 1890s. No, but years and years ago.
Well, you would have all the way up to the 60s, huh?
Oh, I'm sure they existed. You would have all your friends or neighbors come, and everyone would help husk the corn. And there were some traditions that went along with this, and one of the best ones is that when you're all these people sitting around and telling jokes, singing songs, and you were working the whole time, husking the corn. And if you were lucky enough as you were husking, one of the cob that you had in your hand, if it had a red kernel or red kernels on the cob, then you got to kiss whoever you wanted to kiss at the husking party.
Oh man,
what
I'd be sitting there with a marker the whole time.
Well, the problem is, with modern day corn and how they've changed all the seeds and all the varieties, you don't get sweet corn with red kernels, and even field corn doesn't have much red kernels anymore. You know, traditional corn that the Native Americans were planting had blue, and reds, and purples. They're beautiful. But nowadays, you'd have to go without kissing the whole time, because there is no. It's really hard to find those. But that's a really old tradition.
Yeah, now you just gotta work the whole time.
Well, here's the thing. I'm thinking about this more and more. It's funny. I read a poem just the other day about corn husking party in Pennsylvania Dutch, and it described what it was like back. This was like 1930s era, and it really sounded like a lot of fun. Yes, you were working, but you were having fun while you were working, and all your friends and your neighbors were there, and you were singing songs and telling jokes. We don't do anything like that anymore.
Well, no, I actually learned a lot about this not too long ago, which is really kind of interesting. Yeah. Because I play a lot of blues music for a living, and I learn all about the history that goes on with blues music and a lot of the communities that did the blues music. And it was really neat because they would have corn husking parties too, and you'd see photos or you'd read accounts of what they were doing, and they'd have the whole town or the whole community over to do it. And they'd have corn stacked all the way up above head high, and they'd be starting sun up to sun down. Yeah. And they'd be husking all this corn. And it didn't really matter which culture you belonged to or identified with or who you lived around. This was something that I think was across the board. It didn't matter who you were. Like, every culture did it.
Yeah, but it speaks to, the Pennsylvania Dutch had specific ones like barn raisings. You came together, the community came together to build a barn. Or quilting parties where the old ladies from the community would come and they'd all sit around a table and quilt. And they were working, but it was also a way of coming together as a people. What the heck do we do today that's anything like that?
Oh, nothing. Well,
nothing.
And the thing is that it was, even though it was across the board, every culture did it, everybody had their different traditions for doing it. So even it was really kind of like a different language, with the PA Dutch, you'd get the red kernel and you could kiss whoever you want. Yeah. Well, at the end of some of the other ones, they'd have a barn dance, or they'd play music afterwards.
I miss that. I think we really are missing something, that we don't do things like this anymore.
Well, it's that sense of community.
It is, and it's not, it's not about the work aspect of it, because the community aspect of it makes the work not seem like work, right? And, nowadays, what do you want to have, a digital corn husking party where you sit in a chat room in your basement in your underwear and you're chatting with somebody instead of being there face to face? We've complained about this a lot in all these videos, and I'm telling you, here's just another example from our history where our people and other peoples knew how to combat what life, life was hard.
They learned
but
to cope with boredom.
That's right.
They learned to deal with this difficulty. And
here's our mission for all of you out there. Find something that needs done. Well, that's Pennsylvania Dutch English there. Find something that needs done.
And make it fun.
And call friends and help you do it. Like a painting party. Does your kitchen need painted? Have a bunch of people come over and help out and tell stories while you're painting, or put some music on and sing while you're painting. And A, the job will get done. It'll seem fast. B, you're going to have a good time. C, you're going to interact with other people face to face. You're going to get those endorphins flowing, and your brain cells are going to be firing all over the place. And I'll bet you'll feel better, physically feel better, when it's all over. Plus, you'll have a painted kitchen.
I think he's on to something here. This is one of the first times he and I are going to agree on anything. But, whenever my buddies helped me come over, we built the walls in the carport together.
Yeah.
We spent 3 days.
It's a communal
building stuff.
Yeah. Godfidump. We got to do something.
And what's really cool is I love when I forget my cell phone somewhere or my radio's not working in the car, because then it forces me to sing songs, old ones. My dad used to sing sea shanties, and I used to know hundreds of these things. Well, I forgot them all.
Because you don't have anybody to sing with anymore.
Yeah. And so now it's like singing your own songs to work to. It sets the pace. Oh my gosh, there's something.
Find something.
Fun. It's fun.
Find something that needs done and get some people and do it. Make up your own rules. So instead of finding a red kernel of corn and you have to kiss somebody, maybe in our modern era that might be a little bit, hashtag me too. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But come up with something like that. Start a new tradition. Or go get 52 dozen ears of corn and invite some friends over and husk your corn and have an old-fashioned corn husking party. Do it. And then write us and tell us what you did. And heck, throw some pictures in, too.
I'd love to see pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. What are people doing out there to bring the community together, to bring friends together, and work and finish something and complete something, but complete it as a group, as a community.
I used to work in cornfields when I was a kid.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what, we'd detassel corn.
Yeah.
This was kind of similar, I think. We'd be detasseling corn, and they'd have us all walking through the rows doing it. We'd start at sunup, where you'd be all wet because of the dew.
Yeah.
And then it would all dry off.
Yeah.
And then around noon, you'd be all wet because you sweated so much.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you get all the corn rash on your arms from little cuts and stuff. But you know what? Even though it was hot and dirty and wet, we still had fun, because you had 6 people in the crew, and you'd all be laughing and joking and telling fishing stories and all sorts of silly stuff. It just brings people together.
It's not overrated.
It's not.
Do it.
Yeah.
So let us know what you bring your community together to do. And we'll give you a shout out in another video if you send us the information.
Heck yeah.
Keep those questions coming, and we'll keep philosophizing. Is that the right word? We'll keep philosophizing at you about our thoughts. Yeah?
I think so.
I think so too.
Well, I think you heard it from the Dutchman. Anything else, Doug?
No.
All
no.
Right. He got a little bit rowdy on that.
I did a little bit.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much. Until next time.
Mox good.
Why, if you have a question, now you have to email us at bustapa@yahoo.com.